listen-only mode.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining us for another edition of our Launchpad series. As I was corrected by Pete. Pete, thanks for the heads up. The presentation actually mentioned the 18th of December. It was actually the 17th, so we're a day ahead. But we got a really exciting webinar ahead for you guys. We have some good news. There's a lot of interesting news that took place over the last week, so we're definitely going to bring it to your attention. And Armando's put together fantastic case studies this week. There's, I believe, an SEO case study, and there is a social media case study that we're going to be going over that you can definitely utilize as far as your prospects and case study analysis is concerned for your prospects and your clients. So Armando's going to be touching base on that. So we got that lined up for you. We also have a really cool tool that we're going to be showcasing that's more along the lines of PR for your clients, and it's really beneficial. We've seen a lot of benefit by utilizing this tool, so we thought we'd share that tool with you so as to give you information on this tool. All right, so let's get started. Great, so the usual format, we're going to start off with our latest news and articles, and then we'll be moving on to the case study, and then once Armando is done with the case study, we'd move on to the tool of the week, and then of course, as usual, we'd be taking your questions. Great, so let's start with the first news of the week, which was a direction that Google's been going on lately and getting pretty aggressive on is link building networks. So there was a network that Google had blacklisted a couple of weeks back, the Anglo link building network, I believe it was, and then this came in a couple of days back. I believe this news came out on the 13th of December. Yep, Matt Cutt's tweet there, 13th of December at 5:04 p.m. And Google's gone after another backlink network called backlinks.com. And as you can see, Matt Cutt's put out a tweet that says, backlinks.com used to say this on their website. Our installation code or software used to publish the sole links is not detectable by the search engine bots. And then, of course, Matt Cutts had his little interpretation of the au contraire, right? So, of course, Google's caught them, and they've blacklisted all the sites that were potentially using backlinks.com and generating backlinks from this particular source. And Webmaster Tools has been sending out warnings to these websites. And again, they essentially need to start up with the whole disavow process and get back on track. So let's take a quick look at this network here. So this is backlinks.com, and as you can see, they're a link building network. Very clearly, they mention the fact that you can buy text links and you can sell text links. So what they essentially are is kind of like a platform, a network where you can buy and sell links. So you can either sign up as an advertiser on this website, or you can sign up as a publisher on the website, and then buy and sell links. So what's happened is that Google's going after these networks like crazy, and of course all of this is being aided by the fact that they now have the disavow tool, and they're building this whole collection of sources or sites that people are reporting as potentially bad. So Google doesn't even have to do any work because they're getting all this incoming information of potentially bad link sources. So in our opinion, this is only going to get worse. So our thoughts, our overall thoughts on this subject are, when it looks fishy, it is fishy. Stay away from it. Do not buy and sell links. Google's really against that. Build links naturally. Build links from good sources. And whenever a source comes up with a statement or says something to the effect of, hey, the search engines are not aware of us, or this is a secret tactic, or this is going to get you great ranks and Google's not even aware of it, rest assured, it definitely can give you success in the short run because not a lot of people are aware of it. But rest assured, sooner or later, Google's going to come to know about it. And funny enough, a lot of the times, companies like backlinks.com really have very short lifespans, and that's essentially their whole business plan, which is let's ride the wave till such time Google's not able to identify us, and we'll be under the radar. As soon as Google does identify us, we just change our company name, we'll come up with something new, and then we'll ride that wave till such time Google finds us. Now the challenge to that is it's great for these companies because they're making money as they're riding this wave and going undetected by the crawlers. However, it's really bad for your clients because your clients now get penalized, and then you have to start the process of recovery and then start building links for them, try and get clean out your reputation with Google, and then establish credibility once again with the search engines. So the loser really here is you and your client, whereas these companies like backlinks.com don't really care because that's their whole business plan. Interestingly enough, the other company that was blacklisted by Google a couple of weeks back, the CEO of that company said exactly that. We're going to rebrand ourselves, we're going to change the name of our company, and we'll be coming up with a new product very soon. So that's their whole business model. So we as search engine marketers, even if we come across our clients giving us information on, hey, why don't we buy links from here, they're so cheap, or why don't we get this as a link source, that's where the whole education aspect comes into play, and these are the examples that we can actually use for our clients is to educate them on the process that we follow and the fact that good link building and getting rankings does take time. There's no shortcuts here, and even if you do take a shortcut, it comes with short-term rewards and long-term penalties. So that was the first of the week, and then Bing Ads has tied up with Search Engine Land, and they've come up with a really cool ad solution center. And the reason why we love it is because of the in-depth and the quality of the content that's being posted on the solution center, and that's related to Bing. Bing is slowly and steadily taking market share away from Yahoo, as we've all noticed in the search engine percentages that we've been sharing in our Launchpad series. So Bing is definitely to be watching out for, because apparently, I mean, the feedback is that the Bing results are better, its market share is increasing, it's definitely pretty aggressive on its PPC side of things and has tied up with Yahoo. So Yahoo and Bing's PPC campaigns are being run through the Bing Ads Solution Center. So Bing's to be closely watched out for in 2014 and can probably emerge as one of the entities that should be focused on in the new year, especially when it comes to conversions and effective conversions at a very effective cost, because we all know Google's kind of expensive when it comes to cost per conversions. So Bing is something that needs to be closely watched. So here, let's take a look at the Solution Center. So it's basically, you go to searchengineland.com, and then they have the Bing Ad Solution Center in Search Engine Land itself. It's done in a co-sponsorship with Bing and Search Engine Land. So as you can see, they got a featured article, they got a featured video, and then if you look at the bottom, they have this Bing Ads blog. Like there's recent articles, Bing Ads, strengthen our advertiser support. Excel web app lets you edit into Excel. There's a getting started guide, features and releases, industry events that you can keep yourself up to speed with. There's a resources section on the right hand side, and that's actually industry related, so which is great. So let's say if you have a prospect in retail and you need some information on the retail side of things, just go into this retail area on the right side, click on read more, and then it's going to bring about a whole retail area for you. And there's interesting slides. This takes you to a slide share on the retail side of things, and then you can of course take stats and data and then incorporate that in your presentations. So a really cool solution center that's been launched by Bing. So I really suggest you bookmark this and use it for as and when you need information with regards to Bing. Excellent. Moving on. So the other big news this week was Rand Fishkin, where the CEO from Moz, he's swapping roles and he's giving up his CEO title, and the Chief Operations Officer, Sarah Birch, she's been working at Moz for, I believe, 6 or 7 years, and she's going to take over as the CEO, and Rand's going to be stepping down. He's not going to be the CEO, and the whole decision was primarily because I guess Rand felt the pressures of being a CEO in the last couple of years, and that's not what his main passion is. His main passion is being down in the trenches, working in the product, and making the product better, making the experience of Moz better. Like, he's a product guy at heart, and he mentioned it to himself. Like, a lot of the stuff he didn't really enjoy doing, whether it was the finances, the organizational development stuff, the employee stuff, recruiting, hiring, etc., etc. He didn't enjoy that. So, but as a CEO, of course, you have to be wrapped around all of these different areas. So he's going to be focusing on his core, which is product development, being down in the trenches with his people and working on making the Moz products better. That's really what he's focusing on. He also hates titles, doesn't believe in titles, so he's giving up the CEO title primarily because of that as well. And he's changing his title to being I believe, a consultant or something of that effect. So, so he's changing titles, he's swapping roles, and obviously we wish him well, and I think this is going to be a good transition for Moz as a company, because now Rand can actually focus on what he does best, which is product development. Work with his team, come up with new tools for the Moz subscribers, and make things better. We've been Moz subscribers for about 3-4 years now, and their tools keep evolving. Fantastic tools like the Open Site Explorer and the On-Page Grader. Hoping for better things from Moz as with this change that they've had. The other interesting thing that we noticed was that Google's testing embedded images in search result snippets. So there was a particular author that had brought this to everybody's attention in Search Engine Watch. He was doing just some random searches, and as you can see, there's a very random search that he did, flower beauty Facebook, and he was looking for some images of flowers or slideshows of flowers, and what he actually came across in terms of the search, as you can see in the screenshot, is there's images, and then you actually have the organic listings. There's no ads coming up for this particular search, but if you look at the natural listings, each and every single one of those listings has images associated with them. So this is something that obviously Google's testing out and might be rolling out. So the moral of the story for us as marketers is to really start paying attention to images on our clients' websites. Make sure that we have the appropriate alt text associated with the images, that the images have been named properly when they're being saved in the site's database, the proper optimization, proper content association around the image, so that when the spider actually comes in to index the page, it knows what the theme of that page is so as to associate that image with. So it's really important to start focusing on images. They're a great way to drive traffic, and one of the best kept, I wouldn't say secrets per se, is the amount of referral traffic that Google image results can actually generate for you. And that's again something that we try and focus on at WSILM, is to ensure that we're doing proper image optimization, not just so that we can pick up the images in the organic results, but also the fact that we can get a lot of referral traffic coming in from a Google image search. We did that for one of our clients, Peter Greenberg, really well, where he's a travel journalist, and we optimized all of his slideshows and all of his image galleries on the website, and to the extent where he was generating over 7,000 to 8,000 visits to his website just through Google image referrals. And that's the power of Google Images. So it's really an avenue that can generate a lot of traffic for your clients if done properly. All right, so we got a couple of interesting slides for you when it comes to presenting you with data-based information. For some of our European ICs and our UK ICs that have logged on to this webinar, the next slide is going to be really interesting for you. But in this one, we've actually tapped into the power of YouTube. In 2013 worldwide, advertisers are tipped to be spending $5.6 billion in YouTube. And that's something, again, that's going to be our focus at WSILM for 2014, is to start focusing a lot on videos. There's a huge amount of money that's being spent on videos. There's a lot of the featured videos on YouTube, and the advertising opportunities in YouTube are getting better and better every day. That's where the eyeballs are. That's definitely where the traffic is, and people are starting to spend a lot of money. So as you can see, the YouTube ad revenues have been very steadily increasing. If you look at this table on the right-hand side, in 2011, YouTube had about $2 billion in ad revenues. This is all in billions of dollars. And in 2012, we went up to about $3.7 billion. And in 2013, you can see that it's going to be tipped at about $5.6 billion in 2013. So the growth is there. It's a fantastic growth, and we cannot neglect YouTube. I mean, and the power of YouTube. We've all experienced it. You know, we've seen the amount of views some of the videos are getting on YouTube. So it is a very interesting avenue to take advantage of for our clients and generate traction. So this was a slide that I was referring to that the European ICs might find interesting, was the digital ad spending from 2011 to 2017 country-wise in Western Europe. So let's take a look at this for a second. So as you can see, Germany is, I mean, leading the pack with the amount of money that's exchanging hands, and you know, you obviously must be quite familiar with that. Germany apparently is the most stable economy as far as Europe is concerned right now, in terms of its strength as far as economic conditions are concerned, economic indicators go, and that's reflected in the amount of money that's going to be spent by Germany in digital ad spending. You're looking at $27.18 billion in 2017. So as you can see, it's going up pretty consistently. In 2013, they're expected to finish off with about $25.8 billion, and then in 2014 going up to $26.2 billion, and then you know, having a steady gradual growth. UK is pretty close behind, and their growth seems to be a lot more than Germany's, obviously lesser in terms of overall dollar figures, but in terms of growth, UK is having phenomenal growth. I mean, you're looking at $20 billion in 2011, projected to increase to $25 billion in 2017. And in between 13 and 14, you're looking at 22 billion and 23.2 billion. So there's a pretty decent hike that's happening in the UK as well as far as ad spending is concerned. So you know, definitely in the right industry. France going up from 14 to 15, steady there. Italy at 12, Spain going down, and again, not surprising considering how the economy is poised in that country right now. It's going from 7.3 to 6.97. The Netherlands is pretty steady, Sweden steady, Norway, Denmark, Finland, all pretty steady at their numbers. But definitely Germany and UK leading the pack, very strong. UK is definitely pitched to have a very strong growth in the next 3 or 4 years. So we definitely should be positioned with DICs in the UK to take advantage of this. A great stat. Again, feel free to utilize this. It's taken from eMarketer, that's the source, and you can definitely utilize this stat in your presentations. So the other news relates to Facebook, and what they've done is that they've actually added a donate now button on the nonprofit pages. So if you have a nonprofit, this is a great upsell for your clients, where you can go in and either set up a nonprofit page for a nonprofit that's either in the UK or the US, and then when you set up the nonprofit page, Google's automatically adding the donate option over there. And if you actually look at where arrow is pointing, that's kind of like how the donate option looks. Choose an amount, donate to the American Cancer Society. That's their page, and then you have like different amounts that you can order, like 10, 25, 100, 250, other, and then you just click on enter amount, hit next, and you put in your credit card information, and then you just hit donate. Now, the beautiful part with the Donate Now button and this whole process with Facebook is that when you actually donate once, it saves your credit card information, so that when you're scrolling Facebook and you're going on to other donation pages, or you want to donate to this cause once again, you don't necessarily need to type in your full credit card again. It remembers your credit card, and then all you have to do is just choose the amount and hit donate. So this is going to be great for fundraising. And it's a fantastic upsell so as to be positioned properly for companies or nonprofits that actually have a donation-based pages right now, and making sure that this whole aspect is configured properly. And if not, and if a nonprofit is not taking advantage of Facebook, it's a great opportunity to us to show them the benefit of taking advantage of Facebook and setting this up for them. But the interesting part is where Facebook's saving your credit card information with them, so that when you're browsing the internet and you're browsing other Facebook pages, you can just simply click on the amount, submit it, and you don't need to put in your credit card information once again. So that was an interesting feature that they added on to increase conversions for the nonprofit pages. Great. So the other big news, and I'm sure some of you have already seen this impact, is Gmail. So earlier on, when you have like your Gmail account, you'd have to click on display images below. There used to be an option, so you click on display images below, and then it would open up the images. So what's happened now is that Gmail's done a transition where all the images are actually and all the emails are being processed from their own internal servers. They've increased security, and you will now be getting images directly opened up in your email. So you don't need to click on that option that says display images below. It's by default going to be opened up. So you access your Gmail, you open up your Gmail, you're actually be getting the full creative without clicking on that irritating display images below, and you're actually be getting the full image in your Gmail in your inbox, which is an amazing change for marketers, because now you can really start to get creative with your email marketing. Create some great designs, create some great call to action oriented email marketing messaging that can be going out and sent out, and not worry about it being too image heavy and the client not being able to see the images directly, because now if it's Gmail, he's going to be seeing the images directly opened up without having to click on any icon. So this should definitely have an impact on the conversion rates and the click-through rates for email, and push a lot of people to actually start utilizing Gmail just because of this feature, which is great. But it's fantastic for marketers, because this just opens up a whole avenue of creativity for the marketers when they're doing email marketing, because now they can actually have the actual creative, the image open up directly. So big change with Gmail, and definitely gets them ahead of some of the other email service providers like Bing or Sympatico or some of the other email providers that are out there, because they still don't deliver images directly. You have to click on an option to display images. So that's a big feature. Great. So that was all the news for the week. I'm going to pass this on to Armando for the next exciting session in the Launchpad series that we have with regards to keeping customers on your site, as well as some great case studies that Armando has lined up. Over to you, Armando.
Thank you, Anish. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, thank you, Anish. Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody is having a great week and getting ready for the holidays. Well, in, I guess, the spirit of the new year, I kind of looked at a few different blogs and articles specifically on improving relationship with your customers as one of the goals in your for your new years, and being able to further develop those relationships. So we came up with 9 tips to keep your customers on your site. I mean, these are very, again, root basic tips that sometimes we don't do or we forget about them, but it's always very good to go back to them. And I guess the first one is contact your customers when it's not necessary. And this is a very important tip that is recommended by some of the top consultants, not only in the digital marketing world, but also sales consultants out there. That is, always keep contact with your customers, even though it's not necessary. So be able to call clients, maybe a week, not every week, but a week or so after completing a new project, or being able to deliver a final deliverable for them. And at the end of the day, what you want to do is continue to build a relationship. Is, ask for their feedback on what the project was all about. If you're doing a quarterly meeting with them and you met with them, you kind of want to go connect with them again and find out if they had a chance to review the information you presented to them, and to ask for feedback on what was achieved by your SEO, PPC, social media strategies, right, for the time frame. The key thing is that you want to be able to connect with them, not only to get his feedback, but also to continue to establish that relationship. And sometimes, you don't necessarily have to talk about work-related. You can always just follow up to see how he's doing, how his business is doing. Very quick call. Doesn't have to be a long call, but it sends a message that you you care about his business, and at the end of the day, he's also appreciating your work and your relationship with them. That's number one. So some of the things that I've noticed in with some of the ICs, top performing ICs that we work with at WSILM is that, you know what, they do like to keep in contact with their customers, not just to talk about their reporting, but also to find out how they're doing. I know some of the ICs during this time have gone to, you know, their Christmas party. They've been invited for different events. It doesn't mean that's the ideal way, but that's one way for you to be always planting the seeds to better relationship. Number two, let your customers know how much you like working with them, even though sometimes, you know, they can be a pain in the butt. That's the beautiful thing about having customers, and you have to from time to time be able to let them know that, you know what, even through the ups and downs of the relationship or the working relationship that you have with them, you definitely enjoy working with them, and that definitely also builds confidence, because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that when the time comes, and let's say the client wants to make a decision on moving away from your services because he's being pressured by the owner or by the board of directors or, you know, managing directors, you want to know that he's going to be defending you. So it's very important that, you know, that you have his back and he has yours. It doesn't always happen. I mean, this is again in the ideal world, but it's really important to let them know that you actually do enjoy working with them. Another key thing is in regards to feedback. Ask your customers what you could do to make the working relationship better, right? Sometimes it's a matter of communication. Sometimes it's a matter of the level of participation that the client has. Some of them are a little bit more proactive. Others are, you know, they kind of lean a little bit to the other side with their micromanager. So you have to be able to ask your customers, you know, what is it that you can do to improve that relationship, you know, that working relationship. What are the things that, you know, he enjoys, and what are the things that, you know, he would like you to improve. And the same way with you. I mean, I think that sometimes customers want results, but they don't want to participate, and it's important for them to participate in the marketing process. So a very good tip here from one of the top-selling salespeople at Dell is really to ask customers what you can do to make working with them easier. The other one is pass along leads. Now, you're a networker, and obviously you your business grows based on referral business, you know, for many of the successful ICs. So it's also good to give, you know, to pass along a lead to your customer from another company that you may be working with, or another situation that you're involved in. And you know what, customers really appreciate that. It's more than just a lead. I mean, it's actually a free lead that they're getting, but they also see that, you know, you're always keeping them you always keep their brand on your mind, and you're, you know, presenting their brand to your customers. So if you are in a networking event, or you are meeting with a new client and the opportunity comes, you know, you should be able to pass along a lead. I work, here in Toronto, we work with an IC who has a client that they basically sell trailers. And every time you know, we have conversations with other clients, and somebody says, well, you know, I'm going to go up north, and I need to haul some stuff for camping, or, you know, I need a trailer to rent the trailer. I always know that this IC is always passing along, you know, you should visit my client, Reinhardt Trailers, who I work with, and they'll be able to provide you with a service. So passing along leads is a generous thing as well, especially during the season. Be candid when asked for your opinion. Very important. Sometimes you may feel internally that you don't want to say what the client wants to hear, but it's very important to be very straightforward. Even though the customer may disagree with your opinion, but at the end of the day, they will respect your truthfulness, your candidness, because you're being very straightforward with them. So this is a very good tip as well, especially when making decisions on budget or reviewing marketing strategies, and they have their own opinions on what they want to do, and obviously you have to be very very straightforward in your point of view as a professional. Number 6 is don't cut corners. When customers, you know, when you work with a customer for a long time, obviously you don't want to get into a comfort zone. You don't want your team to get into a comfort zone when delivering for this customer. So you may be tempted sometimes to to put yourself into a bit of an autopilot. Don't worry, he'll be okay this month. He's the least of my worries this month. But that doesn't always work out. So you don't, if your customer's figuring out that you're not pushing them along, that you're not providing them with the service, they'll be able to tell you. So be aware and try not to cut corners. Don't put your services on autopilot with them, okay? Because they'll come back, to tell you about that. And when something hasn't gone well, let your customers know what you would like to do about it. And this is a very important one as well. In our business, things don't go, as planned all the time. And specifically, if you are doing a website launch, or you're developing a new website and launching something, or you're relaunching a new program, sometimes, things fall out, and no matter how hard you try to put things together, sometimes it doesn't work out. So the key thing here is, be able to be ahead of the curve and tell your customer quickly what you're doing to fix the situation, and the team that you have to help you achieve that. The customer is going to feel more confident knowing that you are doing something about it and that you're on top of it than not hearing from you. So that's very important. Take the initiative. This is one that I've seen being used by some of the top ICs that we work here with at WSILM, and this is where they take the initiative to bring new ideas, to undertake new challenges with their customers, and what it does, it does not only does the customer realize that they have a strong team to help them take their company and compete online, but also that they have somebody that cares and that is willing to go above and beyond for their business, right? At the end of the day, we're working for business owners, and we have to show that we definitely want to continue that relationship, that business relationship with them. So taking the initiative is very important. Now, how can you take the initiative? Well, you know what? If you see that the stats are not, in the first 30 days that you notice that the stats are not going where you kind of want them to go, talk to your team, talk to your suppliers, make sure that you investigate that. Don't let it go 2, 3, 4 months without knowing. The first 30 to 45 days that you start noticing a dip in performance, whether it be traffic, whether it be conversions, whether it be online sales, use the people around you to try to put a plan into action and show initiative. Also show initiative for new things that are coming up in the industry. That's very important. And the other thing is, keep your word. If you're going to do, if you say you're going to do something, then do it. And this is very, this is one that all individuals involved in sales, sometimes, if we're in a situation where we feel we have to promise something, we better deliver it. So it's very important that if you're going to do something, if you say you're gonna do something, you must do it. So you want to build a reputation of delivering and not under promising and over delivering. So anyway, so that's those are the 9 tips for the new year. I know again that some of you are really good at these, but sometimes we need to remember these things. And the next slide, thank you, Vinish. It's a case study that we've been working with here at WSILM with a company based out of Toronto, one of the ICs here in Toronto. The name of the company is called Blue Bins. And what I wanted to share with you is some of the things that we've done in the past 5 months with them, and also in this case study specifically, the work of SEO and social media. I know that's in the previous case studies, I've spoken about SEO and PPC, but we wanted to change things around and showcase a company that's doing really well with their SEO and their social media strategy. And although their social media strategy is still being built in the past 5 months, it definitely has helped their SEO strategy. One of the things, just to kind of give you a bit of history on this client, Blue Bins, basically what they do is they rent plastic bins for moving, recycle, reusable rental plastic bins. If you're moving, whether it be whether you're a homeowner or an office manager or even a real estate agent, Basically, what they do is they rent the bins for a week, 2-3 weeks, for moving purposes, right? So the IC started working with them probably around May, and the first thing that needed to happen was the launch of their website. So the first thing that they did was develop a website. And I kind of showed 2 screenshots here of the old website at the bottom, which was just a very plain HTML site. No SEO was done to the site. The website itself looked like a 1999, 2000 website, broken images. Basically, they just had somebody internally working on it. So the IC developed a new improved website. I believe they used WordPress infrastructure with WooCommerce, because the client wanted to be able to rent these bins online. So when we started working with them, we developed an SEO strategy. It was a bit of a custom strategy because although it was the foundational program that we started with, there were some elements that we needed to customize, and that kind of shows the flexibility of our SEO packages. And they wanted to focus on some local and regional optimization. They had just opened up an office in Montreal, and their focus was here in Toronto and Montreal, and they wanted to focus on Ottawa. So we began doing some geo-targeting with all of our SEO strategy, content writing, optimize SEO pages. We had to help rewrite the content on the new website. We also have done articles, and right now we're doing about 1 to 2 blogs a month as well, on top of a PR piece, etc. So our focus has been really creating content, letting them know, letting their clients know that Blue Bins it's a fresh brand, it's a digital, it's up to to speed online. And we were actually we are here in Southern Ontario. It's a very competitive market, specifically with the housing boom and a lot of new commercial building that's happening. It's highly competitive. When we started, I mean, Blue Bins, although the name, they had a good URL, bluebins.com. The rankings for some of the keywords were not that great. They weren't being found. They weren't tracking any visits to the site. It was really starting from scratch. So we went in there and started pretty much putting things together one step at a time. And now we're 5 months into the project. Offsite, we've done some PR. They've had some great success on their PR pieces, whether they're announcing new service releases or anything internal in the industry. We've had good success with their PR pieces, and also we've been working on developing their backlinking strategy with local citations, because that's very important for this business. On the social media side, we've taken more of a social media management role in advising the IC and the client on how to build their social media strategy. We're using Hootsuite as a tool to manage all of their social media postings, and we're using the main social media properties: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Just like Manish mentioned, we're going to be launching YouTube probably in the next week or so with them. They've had that channel for a while, but they just begun really focusing on video optimization and creating videos, so that should be launched probably in about a week. LinkedIn. Also, they're very active on LinkedIn. They don't have a lot of followers, but we've seen some responses and a few leads come through there as well. And Google Plus, their business profile, that's an area that we're continuously updating. And we've seen that the work that we've done on the social media has impacted also their overall results, which I'm going to show in the next slide. Other things that we're doing is we're also doing Craigslist postings and Yahoo Answer postings. So we've done quite a number of things. So Vinny, can you just pass on to the next slide just to kind of show some of the overall campaign results here. Now, for this company, we're actually optimizing, I believe, for about 10 keywords. we are actually targeting right now. We were targeting 4 locations, but the client just asked us to stop in Ottawa, but these are the 3 main ones that we're doing, which is Toronto, Mississauga, and Montreal. And you can see some of the results that we've had. Obviously, in some of the, for example, the first ranking that you see, they started pretty high, because they're plastic moving boxes. And what I wanted to show was really that Google Places results on this one. It does take some time. I mean, we've been working with them for 5 months, and for many of the ICs out there that believe that achieving high rankings on Google Places it's a simple thing that it should happen in the 2nd or 3rd month. It does take some time, depending on the competition, depending on various factors and activity of the client. It does take some time, but we've seen some positive results in Mississauga, where they weren't, 5 months ago. For the keyword moving supplies, if you look at it, they were ranked 40, and this is let's say their home area, right? Their central area. They've actually improved to number 12, and they're in number 11 in Google Places. So it's taken some time to get them there, but now we're pretty much breaking into top 10 for Google Places. And Montreal, which is a different, although it's a community that's somewhat bilingual, but predominantly French. We're optimizing mainly in English. We're going to be starting an SEO campaign in the new year in French, but you can see some of the results here. Now, these are just ranking results. The overall results that matter at the end of the day is the following. Number 1, with the new technology and the work that we've done, they've definitely increased the number of leads for both residential and commercial, 125% in the past 5 months. On top of that, now that they have visibility, they're able to nurture those leads and actually track the results, right? Which is very important, something they didn't have probably about 6 months ago, but now it's in place. Now they have online sales. With their new e-commerce, they continue to get online sales, as well as one key thing that has happened is that people are inquiring about licensing. They want to know if they can bring, they can open up their own Blue Bins office in different cities across Southern Ontario. So it's a new business opportunity, new possible opportunity for the customer or the team of Blue Bins to explore, which is licensing or franchising, right? And we have a page specifically for that to capture those leads. And we've noticed that social media interactions and followers continue to grow a bit slowly, not as much as we wanted to, but we continue to work with them and tweak the campaigns to make sure that we can, on a monthly basis, see improvement. And one of the key things that the client has told us is that they enjoy the fact that, let's say before they had their old website and their old SEO team working on it, they had no visibility at all. Now they have visibility of each of the campaigns that we're running with them via the reporting. So these are some of the things that you can share with your clients in regards to the positive results of not only online marketing as well as visibility in the results generated. Vinish, that's it. I don't know if you have anything to add.
Terrific. No, I think that's this is a great case study for a couple of reasons. One, as Armando had mentioned, right now Ontario, specifically Toronto, is kind of like in a housing boom, and the competition in the moving industry is really immense. It's like a very competitive industry to be a part of, and so the client, we've been able to impress upon the client with these results that we've generated, especially because all the competitors are spending a lot of money in this vertical because it is a lucrative industry. You can make a lot of money really quickly, especially in the seasons. So for that reason, it's a great case study. And two, it's on the rise. I mean, even in the U.S. and then a lot of the parts of Europe are again recovering back. Recovering leads to more manufacturing, and more increases with regards to manufacturing lead obviously to increase in sort of like real estate. And when increases in real estate take place, it's all about moving. And this is where this case study comes in. Can be utilized across the board for any potential moving industry related clients that any of the ICs have. And if you do need more information on this or any quotes or any testimonials, please get in touch with us so that this way we can provide you with the exact testimonial. Awesome. So moving on, so this week I wanted to showcase a tool that's That's been in the news quite often. If the ICs are reading the blogs regularly in the industry, then they probably are already aware of this tool, which is called HARO, and that basically stands for Help a Reporter Out. I'm going to take you to this website. So HARO is essentially an initiative of a company called Vocus, and you might not know Vocus, but I'm pretty sure that all the ICs know PR Web, which is one of the best areas to circulate press releases online. So Vocus is the parent company. They own PR Web, and HARO is another product that they have, which essentially stands for Help a Reporter Out, as I mentioned. What HARO really does is that once you become a subscriber, there's these packages that I mentioned to you, the standard events, the premium package. What HARO does is that you can set up your email, and they'd be sending you an alert 3 times of the day. They'll send you an alert in the morning, in the afternoon, and the evening. And these are called HARO alerts, right? What they basically do is that there's 2 aspects. There's the sources and there's the reporters when it comes to HARO. So you have a whole bunch of reporters, and they've tied up with like a lot of leading publications. And so let's look at some of their publications. I mean, you have the likes of Fox, Dow Jones, ABC, Gannett, Associated Press, reporters that are a part of this whole community. And whenever the reporters are in the under a deadline, or they're under the gun for any sort of a news release or a news item, they reach out to the sources through this whole service called HARO. And what they'll basically do is that they'll write out a synopsis of what is it that they're looking for, what sort of a quote do they need, what sort of assistance do they need, what do they need sources for. And then if you are, as subscribed to this service, you get that information, and then you can reply to that email or that particular request that the reporter has, potentially trying to get yourself or the client in the news so that they can be quoted by one of these journalists, and then you're getting free publicity for your client. It's very negligible, I mean, for the amount of traction that you can get. And I have a little story for you that I'm going to be sharing, but I mean, for the rates that you're seeing over here as far as the subscription is concerned, and the amount of benefit that potentially you can get for your clients, it's definitely well worth adding this into your packages and then having this as a standard when it comes to publicity, the whole aspects of PR and publicity for your clients. So the story that I have is like, and I think Armando might remember this one, where we had subscribed to this, and there was some reporters that were basically needing assistance with regards to gift circulations for the Grammy Award and the Oscar Award winners. So we identified that opportunity, and we were successfully able to place one of our clients called Color Revolution. They had a product that was like a quick hair root touch-up product. So you could touch up your roots on the fly for guys and gals, so that product made it into the celebrity giveaways. When you win the Oscars, the Grammys, you get a celebrity giveaway, a gift bag to the winners, and that product made it into one of the into the Oscars, I believe it was, and it was a part of the celebrity giveaway at the Oscars, and this was in 2006. In 2007, I believe, and a great success of that product. Because of that whole promotion that happened, they got a lot of publicity, a lot of limelight. They were in the Ellen DeGeneres show. I think they were featured in the Oprah show as well. So just with that little amount of initiative in terms of publicity, they got so much of success. So this is a terrific opportunity to get some publicity for your clients, because you have direct access to reporters that are looking for sources to meet their story deadlines, and they regularly access HARO, and they put out the requests on HARO. So a very, very useful tool so as to try and get some publicity for your clients. And in case if you're wondering, if you do want some information on putting your clients in, depending on what product they have, in the Oscars and the Grammys and the American Music Awards, etc., we have contacts in play. We've tied up with agencies in Hollywood that actually do this. So if there's any requirements that you have, like your client has a unique product, like it can be a cosmetic product, it can be like sort of like a fitness product. If they do want that kind of publicity, there is a whole bunch of different options that they can engage in as far as the exposure at these prime industry events like the Oscars and the Grammys and the American Music Awards, etc. are concerned. So get in touch with us, and we can definitely get you the information on how to showcase your clients there. But That's a tool that we wanted to showcase this week. Hero, very useful tool for getting some publicity for your clients. Excellent. That brings us to the end of this week's webinar. Just a little bit about us. Our infographic promo is still on. And of course, here's our contact info. You can definitely reach us at any point in time if you have any further questions. Armando at WSILM or info at WSILM. We'll take any questions at this stage. I believe we don't have any questions. Let me just check. I think I changed the view. Let me just change the default view. Okay, there we go. Yep, no questions this week. Great. Well, thanks everybody for attending. Really appreciate it and hope everybody has a great week. Thanks again.